Well, good morning. I'm Frances Micklem, and as I sit here with my Anything War Can Do, Peace Can Do Better mug and my Animal Rights Action Network t-shirt on, I'm thinking I need to start making videos if we're going to get a little bit of throughput in terms of animal advocacy and spreading information and awareness. Uh, Probably some people know everything, and so lots of people know more than they want to know about the uh, industries that animals are involved in. But today I have really only two things I want to say, and one is when you're buying stuff, always look for the leaping rabbit. This is one way that we can really just not buy into just finding what we kind of fancy and putting it in the basket. It's a situation where it's got a leaping rabbit on it. It means it has no animal ingredients. It means it hasn't been tested on animals, and you will be amazed by the things that have been tested on animals. We're talking, uh, feminine hygiene products. We're talking all sorts of creams for the face, shampoos, cigarettes, uh, things that have by no means should be ever have anything to do with animals, and yet they are subjected to them day and night. And don't forget that. All these medicines that we take at the drop of a hat at the first sign of a headache or a little bit of a cold, all those have been tested and use animal ingredients. In fact, a lot of pills are coated in dairy derivative. So, as my point of view is always that uh, it's not really our right just to nab a bit off an animal, not nab the calf off a cow, to torture systematically thousands of animals just because we can't think long enough and hard enough, or even carefully enough in the moment to choose something that hasn't caused that sort of suffering. So 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 I think really, although I was nervous about coming and doing videos, this is only my first one really, and what I was reminded of yesterday is to keep a perspective. Well, however I feel about doing a little something for the animals, however you feel about speaking up for them, it's nothing in comparison to the stress that animals go through, and people, and animals that we don't think of, like those involved to loss of habitat through our use of palm oil. So it's just about us being more careful and starting to have these conversations. So what I really love is for people to decide to get involved in a mass non-cooperation. And what that means, as in addition to having the conversation, but a mass non-cooperation is when you say, I don't want to be a part of, I don't want to participate in a medical pharmaceutical industry that has no regard for life in all its forms. And I don't want to buy things that I just because I kind of quite like them and I always have done. If it turns out that they use animals were exploited in the production of them, the key is just to be able to make changes, let it go, and if we all stop buying these things on account of that, and then those industries will start to fail. I do really believe that consumers are the best activists because by just refusing, and even better, saying why you're refusing, like I'll go into the co-op locally here and say what is going on in the whole range of shampoos and conditioners and everything else. I don't see one leaping rabbit. That means that every single thing has been tested on animals. Is that the case, or do you have a special brand that means that every single thing is some special policy that means every single thing is cruelty free? Please set me right on this. And they say, oh gosh, I didn't realise, or yes, we have something. but it brings things into people's minds. Obviously, that would involve just knocking the eating of meat on the head, there's all those things are important. But just for today, I'm thinking, start having a conversation, asking for things with the leaping rabbit symbol, and um, and see if we can get a big move towards a vetoing of this blatant exploitation of animals. We know that's what's going on because in England at the moment, literally yesterday or the day before, the government voted to take sentience. This is the fact that animals can feel pain and negative and positive emotion and suffer and fear and all of those things. They've taken that out of the legislation. So what that means is they want basically a license to kill. So there's absolutely nothing now between animals and their systematic torture, death, exploitation, use of the body parts, only for the sake of profit. And simultaneously, activists have been these pharmaceutical industries and chemical industries, which are a massive economic boost for the country rather, have said to government they want animal advocates off their back, and the way they're going to do that is by having a law that says that we're not allowed to sabotage their economic interests. So our only option, as I see it today, is to vote with your choices every single time. Why not? So all the best, and let's communicate another day.